Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
What up, dope?
I like how you made me hang there for a second. I heard you after you hung for a second. You're like,
I said it right away.
Hello. There was a pause. There was a pause. Okay. I'm your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey, and now I'm going to kick Satsu in the nuts. How are you guys tonight?
What the fuck has gotten into you tonight?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know.
You just saw the greatest sequel movie follow-up closure thing of all time. Why should you be this upset?
Well, because he was fucking with me.
I wasn't. I said it right away.
Oh, is it a day that ends in Y?
Oh my God.
Did you hear him take a beat there, Scribe?
A beat? I thought maybe he was confused by the video starting up, the stream starting up, because that usually happens to me too. When I start hearing a repetition of what you've already said because the stream starts up in my ears on the delay.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what I assumed happened because it's happened to me before.
I swear, like he said it, I said, "What up, though?" And then I waited for a second. I'm like, did you hear me?" And you're like, "Yeah, I heard you. Why'd you take so long?" And I'm like, okay. Yeah, that's weird. Now it's quiet again.
Yeah, it's it's Tonka error.
Do we lose Monkey? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
I think we might have lost Monkey.
I think we might have, unless he's just dragging out a joke far longer than it needs to be.
Hi guys, how's everybody doing?
Maybe he's acting like I do when I get interrupted too many times, then I go quiet for a minute just to make sure, kind of drag it out for a minute. Maybe he fell asleep at his microphone, which would be a good thing because he's actually lacking a lot of sleep lately.
I mean, or maybe, just maybe.
Also, like the fact that he completely misspelled worshippers in the title.
Did he?
Yeah, and he left out a P. Let's see if that brings him back.
Let's see. How do you lose a crippled monkey?
I don't know.
That's an excellent question.
Okay,
I mean,
well, the P thing didn't work.
Technically, we didn't lose him. We know where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you keep cutting out for me, so I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you keep cutting out for me.
Well, that might be due to something else. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, so we lost Monkey for sure now. And if he doesn't come back in the next couple minutes, well, the stream's going to die. So, hi, everybody. It might just be the Scribe and Satsu show for at least the next 5 minutes before the stream dies off once the host doesn't come back.
Someone say his name in the mirror 3 times.
Yeah, that's right. Monkey Man, Monkey Man, Monkey Man. In Monkey's absence, and if he does come back, we'll do it again. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies. Hit that like button if you have not already, because this stream might not last long. And share our stuff.
And you forgot video games, but that's good.
Yeah. It's not my night. I'm not used to this. I'm a format guy. Tonight's Saturday. It's not my night. What do I know? Yeah. So, Mystery of the Missing Monkey. Sounds like a Carmen Sandiego episode.
I knew he was tripping. I'm like, I didn't pause, man.
Well, you cut out for me. I didn't hear you say it right away either. I heard kind of silence, so maybe it was mutual. I don't know.
Weird.
I don't know. But anyway, you haven't seen Endgame yet, have you?
No, I want to go see it.
All right. No, don't know what to tell you. I'm anticipating him popping in any minute now, and I don't want to start going too far. But of course, oh, there he is.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. We thought you were pulling a gag on us by going silent.
No, my whole fucking internet died. So I guess I got to chat back up here. I'd asked how you guys were. I hope you told everybody.
Yeah, well, the things you missed. One, I did the opening spiel, but I left out video games, so you can do it again and correct me. And two, you have a spelling mistake in your title. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll let you figure that out.
Shouldn't there be 2 P's?
Hey!
Dude, I'm half awake right now.
No, I know. I was just giving you shit while you weren't here. I was like, a monkey fucked up.
Yeah, I didn't explain this all to you because I did monkey in the morning last night, and I got off right at 4. I'm like, this way, I know I got to be up by like 10. That'll give me 6 hours. Laid in bed, took me about an hour and a half to go to sleep. And then I woke up at 9:30. So I didn't get any sleep, and then we went and saw Endgame, and then we went to dinner. We picked up a baby in the parking lot, so that we just a random one. It was laying there.
You picked up a baby in the parking lot.
Yeah, my son and his girlfriend wanted to go see the movie, and so my wife offered to watch the baby, and it just so happened there's an hour in between our showing and their showing.
Okay. So
they just dropped the baby off with us and went and got their seats, which turned out good because theirs is their theater was packed. Ours, guys, true story, there were only 3 people, including my wife and I, in the theater we saw the movie in. Joel, thank you. Monkey is smart. Shut up.
Marty.
Shut up. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit the like button and share our stuff. Don't forget to come watch us on 2 Cents Plus when we're done here. Did we have anything else to share and go over before news stuff? I don't even know where we are in the show. This is going to be one of those nights, guys, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, do we have anything else before news and time?
Are you guys streaming tonight?
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay.
But Mash says you missed my super chat. I'm sorry. Was that while I was gone?
I scrolled up to see if I had missed any.
Let me go over to it's not showing up in my because when you get.
I'll read it. Misheshu says, "Shame on Monkey for thinking Endgame was just meh."
I believe the word I used was blah. Old Grouchy Gamer, thank you so much. Hey, Monkey, it was either you or Creepy Uncle Joe, and you won the coin toss. What? Thank you so much.
Aww.
I appreciate that. I attribute that to the luck of hanging out with 2 beautiful women today. Well, one beautiful woman, one really cute baby. She loves her grandpa.
You thought Endgame was blah?
I did. You and I can talk about that off air.
Yeah, let's.
I bet I can bring you around to my way of thinking at least one point, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, we're going through Walmart, right? Because after we picked up the baby, we went over there and we're doing some shopping because I was almost out of soda. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Get your shit together, AT&T. I know, right? Motherfuckers. But we had her in her car seat in the cart, and anytime I got her out of her eyesight, she'd start yelling for me. Not screaming, not crying, just going, and looking for me. Oh, my little raptor needs me. She's so cute. But anyhow, so let's go ahead and move on to the newsy stuffs.
All right. Well, we'll start out with 2 terrible news stories, and then we'll move into slightly more entertaining things to get it out of the way. Synagogue shooting in California leaves at least 1 dead and 3 wounded. A 19-year-old man was in custody after a shooting at a synagogue in the California city of Poway, or Poway, I'm not quite sure, left at least 1 person dead and several others wounded, Mayor Steve Vaus said Saturday. The shooting, which Vaus described as a possible hate crime, occurred at Congregation Chabad on the last day of Passover. President Donald Trump, speaking outside the White House Saturday, told reporters, quote, "At this moment, it looks like a hate crime, but my deepest sympathies to all of those affected, and we'll get to the bottom of it," unquote. The Palomar Medical Center, Poway, received 4 patients from the shooting, according to a hospital spokeswoman. One of the patients, an older female, died there. The 3 others, a girl and 2 men, were in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries. Vaus said he considered it a hate crime, quote, because of statements that were made when the shooter entered, unquote. The mayor said the congregation was targeted by, quote, someone with hate in their heart towards our Jewish community, and that will not stand, unquote. The congregation, quote, took security very seriously, he said. Quote, I also understand from folks on the scene that this shooter was engaged by people in the congregation, and those brave people certainly prevented this from being a much worse tragedy. Who? Gore told reporters. Who's Gore? Oh, San Diego County Sheriff Bill Gore. Okay, that was above it. I missed that. Sheriff Gore told reporters that the gunman was armed with an AR-type assault weapon. The suspect fled the scene and called 911 to say he was involved and give his location, San Diego Police Chief David Nislett said. A San Diego canine officer arrived and the shooter surrendered without incident. Gore said the suspect was being interviewed by detectives and the FBI. He said investigators were looking over his social media posts and an open letter he wrote, quote, to determine the legitimacy of it and exactly how it plays into the investigation, unquote. The sheriff refused to comment on a motive. Quote, I want you to know this is not Poway, Vous told reporters. Congregation member Minu Anvari, who said her husband witnessed the shooting, said the rabbi called for unity and prayed for peace even after getting shot. Quote, Rabbi said, we are united, and said Anvari, a refugee from Iran. Quote, this is something bad that is happening all over, and we have to believe that this bad thing is real, and we don't have to ignore it. We have to open our eyes. He prayed for peace. I respect him. Even in spite of being injured, he refused to go to hospital, and he spoke, and he finished his speech, and then he left the synagogue. That's dedication for you.
Huh.
But yeah, they're being kind of tight-lipped on motive or obviously anything about the guy's name or anything else, so...
They released his name not long ago.
Did they? The story maybe I've got an out-of-date story. They didn't put it into CNN copy yet.
Yeah, this was only I saw this maybe 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
Fuck. And he's also, this is the one he's taking credit for.
John T. Ernest.
Yes,
apparently.
That's it.
What do we know about John T. Ernest? Doesn't say.
Not much.
Yeah.
And frankly, we don't need to, but
no, we don't. I mean, curiosity being what it is, but otherwise, yeah, just whatever. So I guess we'll find out later, but there you go. Hopefully, if it's only one person died, that is the extent of it. And at least we caught him and he didn't get away through death.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's sad anybody died in it, but it's.
I mean, if you ran in there with an AR-15 and only one person got killed, I'm honestly amazed. But
yeah,
it's good that I was all it was.
I read something because there's supposedly a manifesto from this asshole online somewhere.
Oh, of course there is.
They haven't actually confirmed it's him, but of course everybody's reading. John T. Ernest goes to jail. God damn you, Stephen.
Oh no!
God damn you.
Oh,
wow. God. Well played. But supposedly he, according to this manifesto, and again, guys, it's just being credited to him right now. That don't take this as gospel yet. Mm-hmm. But he was supposedly spurred on by the Christchurch shooter.
Oh,
he said that just 6 months ago he couldn't even have seen himself doing this, but he really doesn't like them Jews or them Muslims. Yeah, so more to come. Yay.
All right. Well, in other terrible news, as if this story didn't already make me furious at certain organizations out there. Quote, maybe mommy didn't mean to hurt me, unquote. 5-year-old told doctor of possible abuse months before he was killed.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we already knew from previous news reports that there was a history of suspected or proven neglect on this kid prior to all this happening. But anyway, 4 months before Andrew A.J. Friend's parents were charged with his murder, the 5-year-old shared information on possible abuse with a doctor in Illinois. Police responding to a hotline report found a large bruise on AJ's hip in December. At first, he told investigators the bruise came from the family dog. But an emergency room physician noted that AJ later gave a different reason. Quote, maybe someone hit me with a belt. Maybe mommy didn't mean to hurt me, he said. according to a Department of Children and Family Services summary of its report. Really? The Department of Children and Family Services had that in a summary of its report? And this kid was still with his parents? Okay. The doctor could not determine the cause of the bruise, but said it could have resulted from a dog, belt, or football. Well, you know what? If there's even one chance in 3 that it was a belt, why the fuck would you turn that kid back over to his parents? Tell me why. AJ's body was found wrapped in plastic in a shallow grave Wednesday. His parents, Andrew Friend Sr., 60, and Joanne Cunningham, 36, there's a pair, have been charged with murder. A pathologist found he died from head trauma due to blunt force injuries, according to the coroner's report. Yeah, I wonder if it might have been with a belt. If they find out it was with a belt, boy, that's with the icing on the shit cake, wouldn't it? The DCFS released a summary of its records, reports, and documents showing its interaction with AJ's family. It detailed numerous encounters with the family, including 17 unannounced visits between June 2015 and March 2016. At the time period. Okay, guys, that should be a comma, and the next word should not be capitalized. But anyway, at the time, the worker did not observe signs of abuse or neglect. Why did you visit 17 times? Well, 17 times within a year? Why? Last week, DCFS received another hotline call alleging neglect. Oh, so someone was telling you. Okay. And inadequate supervision at the home. The call came the same day AJ's parents reported him missing. Information from the couple ultimately led to the recovery of his body in Woodstock, about 10 miles from their home in Crystal Lake. The DCFS report Friday revealed a long history of child welfare hotline calls with reports of a troubled home life, squalid living conditions, and drug abuse by the parents. Some of those calls predate AJ's birth. In 2012, DCFS was called on Cunningham twice, once on accusations of abusing prescription drugs and neglecting her foster child, and a second time for, quote, environmental neglect and injurious environment, unquote, for her eldest son. Both reports were found to be unfounded and expunged. 2 days after his birth, a hotline report was called on Cunningham. 2 days after his birth. Both Cunningham and AJ tested positive for opiates and benzodiazepines.
Nice.
AJ was removed from her care, and DCFS took custody of the infant. AJ was returned to the couple 8 months later after both parents took parenting classes and entered a drug treatment program. Authorities have described dog feces and urine throughout the family home, with broken windows and a strong smell of feces where AJ and his younger brother slept. And yet on 17 visits, it was all unfounded.
It was just dookie smell.
Yeah, you guys need one of those little tree fresheners around here. It's fine.
They just put it around their necks.
This pisses me off so much. I mean, the kid, the report. Okay, it could have been a dog, could have been a belt, could have been a football. What are those odds? What kind of odds you want to take on that one with turning a kid back over to those parents after the kid looks at you in the eye and tells you that? Infuriating. That's all I'll just say. Infuriating.
Yeah, ain't a lot for me to say about it because, I don't know. We've had this conversation, or I've had this conversation with people before about, disciplining your kids or whatever. My mom used a belt for us. And just about every other fucking mom I know that lived in my neighborhood did too. She wasn't beating us to death just for the fun of it. We were literally legitimately doing really dumb or bad shit, and facing the consequences of those actions. So I don't know, when somebody says, oh, they were hit with a belt, yeah, take them away from her. I'm like, I mean,
was she using a belt on you at 5?
Everybody. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, 5. I think 5 was the age, because that's when you were old enough to know better, or at least according to people's logic at that time, because they taught you to know better by then. You weren't doing shit you knew you weren't supposed to be doing. If I said that correctly, I don't know if you guys caught that. But yeah, I don't know. It was normal to me as a kid. So we didn't do things, or we did do things sometimes that we knew we would get, a whooping for, because I'm just like, fuck it, I'll take this ass whooping. And other times it was just like, she's going to beat your ass if you do that. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that. So a different perspective, because I just grew up in that environment. So
thank you, Dame Piglet, who says, sorry. Dame Piglet, thank you. I'll pay you not to talk about this anymore. I know this is a hard one, guys. We're almost done. Hang on there.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Where wasn't there a bruise on this kid? Didn't they say on their hip?
Yeah, on the kid's hip. Yeah, that was this could have been a belt thing.
I got spanked with a belt. Very, very rarely. Mom was not into belts. She more the paddle and the hand. But the hip, that's where it starts to go into territory for me, because I mean, even growing up, it was the ass was made for whipping, not the side of the leg, not the legs, not the back, not your shoulders, the ass. So yeah, I know there's different perspectives on this, but I mean, we are talking about a kid that, I mean, he did end up dead. So how many was it? 17 different times in a year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think,
yeah, this is one of those extreme cases.
All right.
I think the belt might be the least of the problems that went wrong here.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Right.
Let's move on, because we have even more bad news, which apparently just is breaking as well. 4 people are dead after a construction crane collapsed on several cars on the west side of Fairview Avenue North and Mercer Street intersection Saturday, according to the Seattle Department of Transportation.
Damn.
And there are pictures of this. It is a gigantic construction crane, and it's got, pancaked, crushed cars underneath it.
Nice.
According to the Seattle Fire Department, 2 crane operators were killed and 2 people in the cars on the ground died. 3 others were taken to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Their condition is unknown at this time. Among the injured is a 25-year-old mother and her child under the age of 1. None of the injuries is life-threatening. Another victim was treated at the scene and was not hurt seriously enough to go to the hospital. Authorities said the crews were in the process of dismantling the crane when it fell. The crane hit at least 6 cars, according to the Seattle Fire Department. The crane was apparently working on a building that will be used by Google for offices. The National Weather Service said winds at the time of the collapse, about 3:30 p.m., were not strong, with the highest gusts at 23 miles per hour. A witness who came to help after the crane fell was about 100 yards away from the crash. Quote, "We got back to the accommodation, started a video. The crane wasn't standing up straight, then a bit of wind picked up. We stopped the video. 4 minutes later, the crane fell down. We didn't quite see it fall. Some people working on it, swaying in the wind." Fuck. Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a bad fucking day at work. Christ.
I don't trust things like that being above me. I really don't. And I know 99% of the time they're going to stay up there, but I don't want to be that 1%.
All right, let's move on to not tragic news, sort of.
Sure.
You want to talk about 2020 Democrats? You want to talk? Well, how about this? You want to talk about 2020 Democrats or Michael Avenatti?
Oh, Avenatti makes me so happy.
Okay, let's have some fun, such as it is, with Avenatti. After a year in the spotlight, Michael Avenatti claims, "I've been humbled."
I've been humbled. Have you read this yet?
No, I remember you tweeting it out last night, but I went to bed shortly thereafter.
This one's a treat, guys. Okay, go ahead.
Humble is perhaps the last word anyone would use to describe Stormy Daniels' former attorney, Michael Avenatti. But that is exactly how he is describing himself these days. Quote, "I've been humbled. I've been humbled significantly. There's been a lot of highs and there's been a lot of lows. And frankly, I've attempted not to get too high."
Yeah.
Avenatti said in a wide-ranging interview with CNN, which he's done several times with CNN, if you'll remember. Quote, Sometimes I've failed, but I've attempted not to get too high. Right now, I'm trying not to get too low.
Can we stop there for just a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one, Diesel Dave says, Monkey, sing happy birthday for James. Which James are we singing for? Be happy to. I missed it in chat. But can we talk about him not getting too high? This is the guy who went out there and beat his chest about how he was going to take down the president of the United States.
Yeah.
What is too high in this guy's world? Okay, go ahead.
Where was I? Excuse me. Just like his highs, his lows came in rapid succession from coast to coast. The U.S. Attorney's offices in the Southern District of New York and the Central District of California charged him with a plethora of financial crimes that carry more than 300 years of potential prison time, including charges of extorting Nike and 36 criminal counts related to alleged financial crimes. He has denied the charges. Quote, I'm a fighter. I've always been a fighter. And I anticipate that there's going to be a lot of evidence and a lot of facts that are going to come out that are going to change perhaps the opinion that people have. Wait. This is a long sentence from him. To change perhaps the opinion that people have, having now only seen one side of the story. Okay. We don't convict people after only hearing one side of the story. Michael. Oh, Michael.
Okay, it's James or George Mason's son.
George Mason's son.
Yes.
James Mason. It's
James Mason.
Like Jackie Mason?
He actually calls him James Monkey. He turned 8.
Oh.
And he really wants us to sing to him. So we're going to put Avenatti on hold. We're going to put a pin in that pinhead.
Ah.
And we're going to, you know what? I'd much rather prefer to sing to James right now instead. James, 8. What a fun time that was. Oh, man. I had a lot of fun from like 8 to 14. That was a great time for him. So you got a lot to look forward to, bud. And I hope they're all great. And this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday.
Yeah. This wasn't one of those things to look forward to.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, they lied to you like right away.
Happy birthday, dear James.
I'm sure you'll forgive them, though.
Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a great birthday from one monkey to another. I always like saying for the kids, stop letting your kids listen to this show.
Yeah, really. Given what we've just already talked about, it's like, this is not family entertainment.
Oh, yeah, it's the news. No big deal. I'm more worried about the random things I say than what we read.
Yeah, well, at least I can take some solace in that I'm teaching kids how to spell.
George says, I got him a bike last year. Cool. It's time for knee scrapes and such. Have fun, man. You're 8. Go out there and live life.
You got him a bike last year. Well, obviously he's ready for a motorcycle.
Don't put that in his ear yet.
Too late. Let's see. Avenatti's brazen style catapulted him into the spotlight. Oh, let's not leave behind your role in that CNN.
CNN catapulted him into the spotlight. Stop it. You dicks. See, that's what I'm talking about. You jerks. How about that?
His constant legal maneuvers and media savvy kept him there. Yes, it was his media savvy. It wasn't CNN dying for copy about anything anti-Trump.
Oh, jeez.
This is amazing. His entry into the American consciousness began with a lawsuit. He represented adult film actress Stormy Daniels, who sued President Donald Trump and the shell company created by the president's personal attorney, Michael Cohen. Whether in a courtroom or a television studio, conceding defeat is not in Avenatti's wheelhouse, but his current situation is a long way from even a few months ago when he began exploring a run for the Democratic presidential nomination and speaking at fundraisers across the nation. During the interview, tears began to form at the corners of his eyes as he began thinking about what he had and what he has to lose. Quote, "It's about the journey, and regardless of what happens, I have an enormous life." I have had a lot of opportunities that a lot of people could only dream. I've done a lot of things over my 48 years a lot of people would never have an opportunity to do, Avenatti said. Yeah, like extort Nike.
Nuts says, isn't this dude facing charges? Yeah, he's facing up to 300 years in prison.
If he's convicted and he gets the maximum, all the things he's charged with, but he'll probably plea out at some point and get like...
Even pleading out at that, I mean, he's facing at least 20 years. Yeah. He's 48 right now. By the time the trial's over, he'll be 50. This dude ain't seeing the light of day again.
I don't know. It depends on how much they decide to concede for the sake of expediency in the plea deal. We'll see. Then he responded to the possibility of prison time. Quote, "If I wasn't afraid of that, there would be something fundamentally wrong with me as a man, as a human being." Do we care to go over the long road to how we got here in this article that goes on for another 3 pages?
Not really. I just want to laugh at him.
Yeah.
The funny part about this is, honestly, is the whole Stormy Daniels thing. Everybody's pointing to this as like, is the federal government just going after him to get back at him for what he tried to do to Trump? I've actually seen that. I'm like, no, shut up. The only reason any of this stuff all came to be is because of Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
If he'd have kept his mouth shut, she's the one who first publicly accused this guy of mishandling money that was supposed to be hers. And they had a little breakup there for a while. I don't know if you guys remember all of that, but they had a little breakup. And he explained to her where all that money went, And they got back together, and it was right after that they like broke up for good. And everybody else who had this shit bag for a lawyer started looking at their settlements going, wait a minute, where the hell did all my money go? And that's when the Fed started really looking into this, guys, because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. What do you mean? I tried not to get too high. You were on national television talking about how you were going to be the one to take down the president. How much more fucking arrogant do you get? What, you're being up there talking about taking out the Pope? What? What's a bigger arrogance than that? Exactly. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. I tried not to get too high. Are you kidding me?
Well,
you were loving it.
Him talking like a buffoon doesn't mean anything because that's all he is. I'm just more impressed with CNN's dodging of their own culpability in the whole situation.
Yeah, you like how he rose to national prominence.
His brazen attitude. Yeah, right. His brazen attitude.
His media savvy.
He was, most of the time he was on any other show, they were showing clips from CNN. Are you kidding?
Yeah. His ability to keep his dick in our mouth at all times.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Anyhow. No, I read that last night. Like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Anyhow. All right, guys. That brings us into the regular news, but it brings us to the hashtag MSS news. If there's a story you'd like us to possibly look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS news over on the Twitter machine. We appreciate all the submissions, but we can't get into them all because there's too many, and I take way too long to introduce this segment. Scribe?
Oh, okay. Let's see. This one comes from Frosted Glass, and it's from The Guardian, and it's from someone we've read a few of these from before, Arwa Madawi. I'm probably fucking that up. But her insight into the 2020 campaign is Bernie Sanders is the most feminist 2020 candidate, as far as I'm concerned.
Based on?
I guess we'll find out.
The vagina.
The undertitle is Sanders is far from perfect, but it is ridiculous to claim that he is beloved purely by arrogant white bros.
No, it's just most of them.
The problem with Bernie bros. If you support Bernie Sanders, then you are probably an entitled young white guy, a Bernie bro. Someone who purports to support progressive ideas, but is really a raging misogynist who could never vote for a woman. We heard this message ad infinitum during the 2016 primaries. Gloria Steinem even accused young female Sanders supporters of only supporting him over Hillary Clinton because, quote, the boys are with Bernie, unquote, which was an incredibly bizarre thing for a feminist to say. Now that the 2020 primaries have kicked off, we are being told once again that Sanders is the brocialist choice, and that he doesn't connect with women, particularly non-white women. This isn't entirely inaccurate. Just look at Sanders' recent performance at She the People, a presidential forum for women of color. Okay, didn't see that one. When asked what he would do to combat white supremacist violence as president, Sanders reminded everyone he was at the March on Washington with Dr. Martin Luther King in 1963. This non-answer justifiably drew loud boos and groans. Sanders didn't help his cause when, visibly annoyed, he then wagged his finger at the audience in a condescending manner. Is there a way to wag your finger at someone in a non-condescending manner?
You can kind of do it playfully.
Oh, yeah, if there's like a little smile, like naughty.
Yeah, but otherwise, no.
How long does this go on? It goes on a bit. I don't care. I mean,
well,
I don't know.
I just love that first part, and I want to talk about that opening for just a second there.
Mm-hmm.
Gloria Steinem accused female Bernie supporters. That's the word I was looking. I almost said female women, and my brain was going, "That's not right. Don't say that. Don't say that out loud." Female Sanders supporters of not supporting a male candidate because that's where the boys are. And this chick comes back with how feminist, what a feminist thing to say. It's amazing when they decide what is and isn't feminist to say. Is supporting women all the time the feminist choice, or is supporting the idea that women can make their own choice the feminist choice? I need feminists to make their minds up on that, because it seems to depend on the situation.
Monkey, it has always depended on the situation, and they will never make up their mind.
Damn it.
All right. Well, moving on from that, let's see. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. I think I saw this movie. Yeah, I think it wasn't it Hider in the House with Gary Busey, one of those USA horror movies? Man, 31, accused of living in ex-girlfriend's attic for weeks before attacking her.
Jesus.
The woman had noticed unusual things inside her home, such as finding a blanket on the floor and the toilet seat left up. Great.
You know you didn't leave the seat up.
Yeah, clues. But anyway, a woman who suspected something odd inside her Pittsburgh home discovered her ex-boyfriend had been living in the attic. Carrie Kukuzi, if I'm saying that correctly, 31, was arrested in the unnamed woman's house and charged with burglary and unlawful restraint after she found him standing in the middle of her bedroom. After the encounter, he allegedly grabbed her face before she pushed him away and ran outside screaming, prompting several neighbors to call 911. Police searched the house and found Kukuzi hiding under clothes and furniture. He told officers he was homeless and had been sneaking in and out of the house for about 2 weeks. The mother of two had been noticing unusual things inside her home in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, such as finding a blanket on the floor and the toilet seat left up. She told Channel 11, quote, "I feel like this is going to affect me for the rest of my life." Yeah, I can sympathize.
You said you mentioned, or you thought you saw a movie like that. This has happened before, where guys do this. So move into some woman's attic, and I can't remember if the other ones I've heard were actual boyfriends or just like creepers. Either way, they're creepers, but you know what I mean. Dudes, move on. Come on, be a man. And women, if you don't live in a home where a toilet seat should ever be up, and you notice one up, call the police.
Let's see. This one comes from Peter Stewart. If I don't lose my voice here. Canada-wide salmonella linked to Celebrate brand frozen profiteroles and eclairs. Profiteroles? I don't know what those are. Profiteroles. Profiteroles? I've never heard that word before, so it must be a Canadian thing. BC Health Authority says investigation took months across several provinces after dozens infected. Health officials in British Columbia have pinned down the source of a Canada-wide salmonella outbreak that took months to investigate. Dr. Eleni Galanis with the BC Centre for Disease Control says investigators have linked the bacteria-caused gastrointestinal illness to Celebrate brand frozen profiteroles and mini chocolatey eclairs.
Wouldn't that be profit rolls?
I don't know. I've never seen that word before, so I'm not familiar with that.
Huh.
Three-sided coin tells us, though.
Thank you, three-sided coin. Profit. Okay, I don't have my glasses on. Profita rolls.
Profiteroles. Okay. I do not know what that is. Let's see. Galanis said...
Oh, sorry. It says it's an Italian dessert. I should have read the whole thing. My bad. Thank you for the donation.
Galanis said cases started appearing in November, but it wasn't until last week that investigators were able to piece the clues together after a third infected person reported eating a cream puff. Quote, that is not a common food that we see reported by people who are part of an outbreak, especially for salmonella. We anticipate chicken or egg being a common source. Yeah, so don't eat your cream puffs or eclairs in Canada right now.
Especially, the name of the brand is Celebrate.
Celebrate. Oh no, my bowels.
Oh fuck.
Okay, this one comes from Trucking with a Tablet. Ocasio-Cortez and Omar fire back. Nice phrasing. After NRA official says real America will reject socialist policies. U.S. Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar attacked NRA lobbyist Chris Cox on Friday after he warned of the socialist wave engulfing America and promised there will be a, quote, rude awakening when, quote, real America votes against those espousing far-left ideas. Quote, the socialist wave we warned was coming is here. Okay. Sorry. I think I'm losing my voice. And it's not just the two coasts that are underwater. The wave is hitting the heartland of America. But as this circus goes on, millions of Americans will see how far outside the mainstream these socialists have become, unquote. Cox, executive director of the NRA's Institute for Legislative Action, said Friday during a speech at the Second Amendment Advocacy Group's annual convention in Indianapolis. Jesus Christ. That entire thing was one fucking sentence. Okay.
Well, take a breath for a second. Let me get this super chat. Johnny Hellcat, thank you. My dad had an ex break into his house, strip naked, and wait for him to get home. When he discovered her, he was giving my now stepmom a tour. Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Quote, friends, do you think Nancy Pelosi and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are mainstream in the United States of America? Are they in for a rude awakening in November of next year when the real America goes to the polls? I'm talking about the America you and I know, he added. All right, so anyway, moving back. Ocasio-Cortez, a New York Democrat, went to Twitter to fire back against the NRA official, lambasting Cox for suggesting residents in her district aren't part of the real America. Quote, civics lesson for the NRA. Oh, this should be good. As much as they may not like it, the Bronx and Queens are part of the real America too, she tweeted. Wild that the NRA is suggesting the voters of NY14 aren't real Americans because they don't think assault weapons in school classrooms is a good idea, unquote.
What?
Okay, I know that there's been a lot of advocacy for having armed teachers and such, but assault weapons in classrooms?
Wasn't he talking about socialism?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. I mean, it's the NRA.
So what the fuck does that response have to do with anything?
Nothing. And he was talking about the socialist wave. He wasn't targeting specific people.
Yeah, like that's what kind of response? That's such a weird response.
Yeah,
you're just like, okay.
Omar chimes in. Omar, the embattled Minnesota Democrat who has long decried the influence of the NRA, also jumped on the official's remarks, tweeting, quote, "Can the real America please stand up? This ain't it, chief," unquote.
See, I'm just pointing out, she just used chief there, and she's not talking to Elizabeth Warren. So when I do it, it's a turn of phrase. Just saying.
All right, this one comes from Devil Fruit Zero, and our second Seattle story, but thankfully not a tragic one that I know of. Seattle has been fining a cat thousands of dollars. Yes, a cat. Okay. And the author goes on to say, okay, so technically the cat's human has been getting the fines, but the whole story is ludicrous. Okay. The Seattle Times reports what must have been one of the most fun stories of the year to write. And this is a quote from the story. "No cat in King County has a rap sheet longer than Miska. The brown tabby has racked up thousands of dollars in fines while allegedly roaming her Bellevue neighborhood. Quote, the infractions, they just keep piling up," said her attorney, John Zimmerman. "She even did hard time in King County's kitty jail. Now she's turning to Pierce County to have her day in court." Okay. Miska's troubles began in 2014 when her human, Anna Danelli, started receiving violations for the 10-year-old brown tabby's behavior. Alleged infractions included alleged trespassing and being a, quote, "vicious animal at large," unquote. Okay. Zimmerman told the Times that Miska, quote, "is a normal 10-year-old cat. She is very loving, she is social, she is friendly, she is intelligent, and she is really an excellent feline companion," unquote. Her lawsuit demands the violations against Miska be dropped and the Regional Animal Services of King County determination that she is vicious be voided. Okay, in one of at least 30 complaints against Miska, a neighbor called her beautiful but predatory, an exotic cat, and a cheetah, and claimed the tabby taunted the neighbor's cats through their windows.
Wait, okay. Where do you get the predatory cheetah part, and your complaint is actually that they fucked with your cat?
Okay. Danelli says in her lawsuit that Miska has been targeted because former Regional Animal Services of King County manager Gene Muller lived in her neighborhood. Quote, of the approximately 20,000 infractions filed by RASKC over a 10-year period, approximately 50 involved cats, and most of those infractions involved Miska.
Oh.
Unquote. When Miska was born, she was allowed to roam free in her neighborhood, but the lawsuit claims that changed sometime later. Danelli's lawsuit claims 4 prosecutors have been assigned to Miska, and former RASKC manager Muller tried to have the tabby euthanized in 2014. What? RASKC manager Gene Muller determined that Miska was vicious, and in pursuit of his desire to separate Miska from Danelli and Miska's family, manager Muller signed an order to have Miska euthanized or deported from King County. The law
deport a cat.
Miska's life was obviously spared, but her troubles continued. In 2017, the lawsuit said, quote, RASKC personnel encouraged another of Danelli's neighbors to file 1 or more complaints against Miska for purported trespassing on a neighbor's property, unquote. RASKC then trapped Miska and took her to kitty jail, an animal control facility. She spent months there, quote, until she made bail, unquote, by way of kenneling fees paid by Danelli. While she was in the slammer, Danelli's lawsuit said, quote, Miska was kept in solitary confinement and denied visitation rights. Danelli is even struggling to get Miska's case heard, according to the Times. Quote, ultimately, Miska's case ended up before the King County hearing examiner, who Danelli argues does not have jurisdiction. The Bellevue City Code says the King County Board of Appeals is where a case goes when someone contests a violation from RASKC. But the board stopped hearing such cases in 2016, and since then they've gone to the hearing examiner. Since Bellevue City Code hasn't been changed to reflect that, Donnelly argues the hearing examiner does not have jurisdiction over the city's animal enforcement cases and that Miska's violations should be voided. Unquote. All of this over a cat.
They don't actually say anything. Okay, you got taunting a cat through a window.
Yes, and trespassing and being vicious and predatory.
But see, even with those, they don't say what. Like, I read a story last night. In Australia, they're having a problem right now with feral felines.
I'm not surprised.
They're overrunning the country. 99.8% of the country is just covered with the fuckers. Now, these are a feral cat. I mean, those are vicious. This sounds like a house cat that gets out and wanders the neighborhood. That's not vicious. The hell are you talking? Okay, yeah. Give me an example of the viciousness.
I'm getting Aristocat vibes here.
I really hope, like, somehow this cat case ends up uncovering some kind of corruption.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Like, oh yeah, it all started with Miska, the crime-fighting kitty. Anyway, or the crime-finding kitty, as the case may be. This one comes from John M. Hundreds quarantined as health officials probe measles cases at LA universities. Uh-oh.
Jesus.
More than 900 quarantined or sent home from 2 LA universities as U.S. measles cases hit 25-year high. More than 900 students and staff members at 2 Los Angeles universities were quarantined on campus or sent home this week in one of the most sweeping efforts yet by public health authorities to contain the spread of measles in the U.S., where cases have reached a 25-year high. By Friday afternoon, 2 days after Los Angeles County ordered the precautions, about 200 of those affected had been cleared to return after proving their immunity to the disease through either medical records or tests. The action at the University of California, Los Angeles and California State University, Los Angeles, which together have more than 65,000 students, reflected the seriousness with which the public health officials are taking the nation's outbreak. Those under the quarantine were instructed to stay at home and avoid contact with others, though it wasn't clear how those orders might be enforced or what penalties violators might face. Quote, measles actually kills people, so we have to take that really seriously, said Dr. Armand Dorian, Chief Medical Officer at USC Verdugo Hills Hospital. Verdugo? The number of measles cases in the U.S. has climbed to nearly 700 this year, including 5 in Los Angeles County and 38 altogether in California. The surge is blamed largely on parents not getting their children vaccinated because of misinformation about the supposed dangers. Mm-hmm. There you go.
I just got a message. Somebody is trying to put my name in chat. Guys, if you type in Ranting Monkey and it disappears, that's YouTube. I don't know why that's happening. It's been happening on a couple of streams lately, and I've reached out to them and they're not answering me, so I don't know what to say. Sorry.
Okay. Like if they try to put it with it when it's going to be highlighted like at Ranting Monkey?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Bear tried to do it one night on his stream, and he ended up having to put RM into chat because Ranting Monkey, he typed out the same sentence, Ranting Monkey something. Typed it out 3 or 4 different times, and then he typed the same thing with just RM instead, and it went through with no problem.
Let's see. Tell me if you see that, Monkey.
Yep. A lot of people can do it. A lot of people can't.
Okay. Maybe because I have a wrench. Maybe that's it.
No, because there's a lot of people did it just after you. But
just now. Yeah, okay.
Like I said, I get that complaint on a lot of shows. It's not just our shows. It's anywhere I go.
Let's see. How many more do you want me to do?
Let's just do one more.
Okay, well, we'll do one that'll make you maybe happy. I don't know. This one comes from The Reaper. Alyssa Milano pulled back the curtain on brewing Democrat civil war.
I read this.
This is from the Daily Caller. So, actress Alyssa Milano pulled back the curtain on the deep divide within the Democratic Party on Thursday, revealing that most of the hateful tweets about her upcoming podcast with former Vice President Joe Biden came from supporters of independent Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Quote, I expected to get hate tweets from Trump supporters on this, she tweeted. Sadly, most of the hate tweets are from Bernie supporters. I'm cool with it, but let's get it all out quickly, Milano added, stressing the need for Democrats to come together. Quote, we won't beat Trump if we don't come together. If not for a common candidate, then please for a common goal, unquote. Well, here's the thing. If you all have a common goal but not a common candidate, you're still going to lose.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you the math there, Alyssa, but that's the truth. Let's see. Her original post was an announcement about her new podcast, Sorry Not Sorry. Oh, that sounds just pleasant. And the fact that Joe Biden would be joining her for the inaugural episode premiering April 29th. Oh, man. You're going to end up doing videos about her podcast shows, Monkey? You're going to have to subscribe to that, huh?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Critics attacked everything from the name of her podcast, saying that Sorry Not Sorry was a fitting slogan for Biden after he didn't really apologize to Anita Hill, to Biden's policy positions over the years. They called him a corporate Democrat and a Reagan Republican, and several even asked whether part of the podcast would be dedicated to Biden sniffing things. There were a fair number of positive comments, however, and many more asking Milano to invite other Democratic candidates to share their views as well. Milano responded to nearly all of the requests, saying that she would love to hear from as many candidates as possible. I can't, man. I want to talk to Beto. I want to get Beto on the show. Let's invite Beto.
Yeah, get Beto on the show. I'd love to talk to Beto.
Why are you sniffing Beto now?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
All right.
I may have occasionally suggested he might partake of the devil's dandruff.
What?
Alyssa, sweetheart, I realize you're passionate, but you're also stupid. And by political standards, you are really, really, really young. And what I mean by that is you spent like the first 40 years of your world not paying any attention to the world around you. And now suddenly you've jumped into politics and you think you know everything. The Democratic primaries are fucking dirty. They're dirty, man. They just are. And if you don't know that, you've either not been paying attention or you're lying to yourself. They're vicious. There is a reason. There's a reason that both the DNC and Hillary Clinton knew exactly where to go to try to dig up dirt on Trump. It's because they hire it to dig up dirt on their own people as well. Opposition research. The Clintons, fucking man, they perfected it, but it's been around for a long time. It's a way to go in there and find dirty shit to use against your opponent to rip them down. That's what the whole Democratic primary is about. It's shut up, you dumbass. Sorry, not sorry. Anyhow, it's not surprising it was coming from them. There's no reason for Trump supporters to even be fucking with you guys yet. They're just sitting back laughing at the shit show you guys are engaged in. Anyhow, so that'll bring us to the end of the MSS News. Thank you for submission. Sorry we can't get to them all, guys. We get so many, but we do appreciate them all. It's time for the YouTube's time, and Satsu, what'd you do?
I uploaded a video today. Well, the video that I said I was going to upload of me making a fried chicken, and it went well. I also used my my Ninja for the first time today. It's cool. Like there's a lot of things involved with getting it set up or whatever. And I've never had a pressure cooker before, so the first time I released the steam on there after whatever I was cooking finished, it actually scared the shit out of me. It was like move the steam tab over so that way the steam can release, and I just touched it and it was just like, oh my god. But yeah, I think I'm really gonna like this thing. So I haven't even scratched the surface of ideas and stuff that I want to use to make all kinds of things. So I'm just kind of messing around with it for now. But yeah, that turned out good. But yeah, I did upload that video today. So if you want to check it out, go check it out. I was getting some questions about marinades and brines and shit. And look, there was a phase that I was going through with cooking where somebody told me that was the way to go, and I would do it. And it's so fucking tedious. And sometimes you gotta think like, oh yeah, you take it out and you brine it or whatever for 24 hours. And I'm just like, what? And then I do it and I cook the chicken. I'm like, this tastes no different. It tastes exactly how it would have if I wouldn't have waited 24 hours to eat it. Why do people do this? And everybody's like, oh, it's so much better. And I'm just like, I don't see it at all. So I stopped doing that shit. Sometimes I do marinades for like chicken breast, but for like wings and shit, no. I'm not waiting 24 hours to fucking eat for minimal returns. Like that shit has to be substantial. Like it better taste like next level chicken. And I'm like, it doesn't change it at all, or at least not enough for me to be like, yeah, that was worth waiting 24 hours for. Like, no, I'm sorry. I just. But anyway.
Real quick, Chicago Mike, thank you. I picked the wrong week to sniff candidates. Joe Biden. Indeed. I've only had one marinade or anything like that I actually tasted and thought it made the meat taste remarkably different. And it was this marinade an ex-girlfriend's mom way back in high school used to make for steak. And it was the only time I've ever tasted anything different. Like, okay, that's pretty good. But otherwise, I'm with you, man. Most part, all you need is a little bit of salt. You'll be fine.
Well, steak is probably the only thing I consistently marinate. Like, I'll marinate a steak because there's a difference. Like, I've actually seen and tasted a tangible difference when you marinate a steak. But chicken, I'm just like, no, this is a fucking waste. Like,
you just char that motherfucker as much as you want it cooked, and then you eat it. That's the only marinade you need is that blood that comes soaking out when you cut that steak open.
Jesus.
I did a monkey in the morning. It was a long time ago, and I'm sure we talked about stuff. I know we talked about Avenatti because I had jokes about that. Because fuck that guy. We talked about the Australian cat problem. Because I really want to know which side the emus are taking in that fight. Apparently they also have that same problem in New Zealand with just feral cats running over the place. And they have you might not know this, but if you want to make some money in Australia, they were paying, they may still be paying $10 a scalp.
Jesus.
So I mean, how hard does it take to pop a few cats? You know what? Australia, let them have guns back. They'll take care of them cats for you. And we talked about some other stuff I can't quite remember, but go watch the show. I'm sure it was fun. Scribbles, what'd you work on?
Well, I found a little clip of a celebrity talking about her business practices.
Oh.
Yeah, Tyra Banks. I don't know how I came across this, but this random thing, and it's a little clip of her at some Time magazine panel discussion where she talks about how there is a mandate at her companies to hire women of color. And she very explicitly says, maybe anecdotally, maybe just as a hypothetical example, that, my CFO, woman of color. I'm like, oh, so your CFO is not allowed to be a man and is not allowed to be white. Might I introduce you to equal employment federal law by any chance? It's a very brief little clip, but she says a lot in a short amount of time that is just mind-boggling. And the best part is the part I won't say because you have to go watch the video. But when she just kind of dismisses the possible consequences of what she's doing or what she's suggesting. So anyway, that's there. I also have been picking at a TEDx talk. It's a long talk, and those are a slog to work through, so it might take me a while, but I picked at that too. But yeah, the Tyra Banks thing came across my radar, and I was just like, oh, and I put that together in about a couple hours. So that's what I've been working on.
All righty. Which brings us to fucketry time, and I don't mean to call somebody out.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you do.
I really don't, but I kind of have to.
Is it me? Did I do something?
You didn't.
Oh, shit.
As I expected, most people do not like my opinion of Endgame. And guys, I'm not talking about Endgame. I'm not. But somebody tweeted at me, once again, the monkey is wrong.
Oh.
And they follow this up with, I'm just about to watch it.
Ah, I see.
By the time you're done watching it, you may think I'm wrong. But you can't say I'm wrong if you haven't seen it yet.
That's true.
Jesus. Anyhow. And that is the extent of what I'm going to talk about on Endgame. It's fucketry time, guys, and I didn't mean to jump in there first, but that one just came across and I had to laugh at it. Satsu, what'd you see for the fucketry today?
Not much. I was at the other house finishing up everything, and I got everything done. I took a fuck ton of pictures, like a obsessive amount of pictures, because I'm just like, they're not gonna fuck me this time. They're still gonna fuck me, but I took pictures to give myself a false sense of security. But it's still gonna happen. They're gonna find some reason to keep my deposit, so it doesn't matter. But that's what I was doing most of the day.
Fair enough. Scribbles, did you have some fucketry today?
Not really. Sorry to not have much to contribute again, but I wasn't really paying attention to Twitter much today. I was kind of playing video games and working on the video.
I'm gonna have to talk real slow because I was away from my computer most of the day.
Or you could just tell what you did or didn't do, and then we could find something else to keep us occupied.
24 minutes, Steph.
Well, why don't you pull up a Mad Lib?
All right,
and do one yourself.
And unfortunately, why are they both from Ed Krasenstein? This asshole just... Well, he tweeted out, if you're a Republican politician and you're not saying a single word to condemn President Trump after reading the Mueller report, then you are anti-American.
Okay.
Which I read that right after I happened to read a Washington Post story. It says the majority of Americans oppose impeachment.
Right.
So I had to tweet him that story. The interesting part of that poll is how low the number of Democrats who want impeachment is. It's only 62%.
That makes sense, I guess.
70 to 80, I would have expected, especially when you look at the number of Republicans who don't want it, and that's at almost 90. It's at 87%. Those two usually kind of offset each other. You know what Republicans and Democrats think on things like that?
I would wager, and like giving maybe more credit than's due, I'd wager that they're more focused on just getting him outed. Out of the office than they are about impeaching him, because we're so close to the next election anyway. Why bother?
And the really telling one there is only 36% of independents want him impeached.
Okay.
So this did you guys happen to see Bill Maher was trending when I woke up this morning?
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Maher was trending for two reasons. First, Republicans pointed out something he said, and then Democrats had to shoot back because you can't use our Jesus against us. So what's that dick looking motherfucker? Adam Schiff was on the first part of Bill Maher last night. You know, where he sits down with somebody and has a conversation with them.
Yeah, he does the one-on-one.
Yeah. And he told Adam Schiff that, look, this was the Mueller report. This was the bullet we had in our gun. And without that, and I'm quoting him here, it just looks like you're stalking him. And he went on to explain, basically what I've said and what I'm patting my own back here. What a lot of people who actually pay attention to politics are thinking right now. This is a loser for Democrats. Leave it alone. Let it go. Yeah. I know you've gotta appease your base. So yeah, do a couple of hearings here and there. But for the most part, just let it fucking go, because it's gonna come off as though you're just being petty. And I mean, Bill Maher said this to him face. It looks like you're stalking him. I'm like, oh my God.
That's funny.
But then later on, of course, during, I think it was New Rules, Bill Maher attacked Bill Barr. So Democrats who were upset about the Republicans tweeting that first part tweeted the second. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Look, guys, Bill Maher's right. He's right on this. Let it go. There's nothing to be gained. What is Congress going to investigate that Mueller didn't? He had a pass to investigate everything. Literally. He could look at whatever he wanted to. You guys can't even do that. So quit while you're ahead. Quit while you're ahead. You got the win. You got a report that makes him still look. I mean, come on. You can't read that report and go, yeah, he looks like a great person. It looks weird. But, I mean, leave it at that. The other one from Ed, he just tweeted this not long ago. Jesus Christ would tear down a wall and give immigrants the shirt off his back. I know this, and I'm Jewish.
What? The Jews believe in Jesus? What the fuck is he talking about?
Well, he knows this about Jesus. And my reply to that was, yeah, but you wouldn't vote for him. You wouldn't. You'd crucify him. I mean, come on. Or turn him over to the Romans to do it, you know. I just love this because I see this kind of stuff now and then from non-Christians who tell Christians what Christ would do. And that's fine, but you don't follow him. So stop pretending like you do. Come up with an argument. I mean, okay. Jesus wouldn't want a wall. I've read the Bible, and granted, it's been a long time since I have. I don't remember Jesus' stance on a Mexican wall. But again, it's been a long time, so I could be wrong. Maybe Jesus did want open immigration with the Mexicans. Who? Let's see. Had we even found the United States yet? No, we hadn't. Anyhow,
Monkey's history lesson, everybody.
Yeah. Jesus, the whole Jesus thing came about years and years later. Anyway, I guess I could dig us up. My brain just had a semi meltdown.
Are you talking about like a advice column or a Mad Lib? Or
I was actually typing advice column in, and my brain went.
And your brain shut down anyway. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I have not slept. I am so fucking tired. Don't.
So here's the fundraiser to get Monkey a sleep machine, or at least a bottle of booze.
Look, my current fundraiser is Monkey's Fund to keep you from giving money to assholes running for president in 2020. You can donate to that over on my Streamlabs. I mean, you can donate it to here too, but the official fundraiser for that is over on my Streamlabs. And I just want to be clear so that I'm not falling afoul of any FEC regulations. This is not a Monkey for President fund.
Right.
That's a secret fund that nobody else gets to hear about because I don't want to go to jail for not paying taxes or filing formally. Here's a good one. Or it has the potential to be.
Okay.
Dear E. Gene, my man has become Dear Lords of the Night. My man has become a public figure in the world of social media. He has strangers kissing his ass all day and women from all over the world propositioning him, which has inflated his ego to the point where I feel he doesn't appreciate what he has. And he's extremely lucky to have snagged a woman like me.
Oh, well now.
Well, I think we know who the villain is in this story.
I held out for love until I was 34. I wanted the kind of man who saw the best in me, and this was the man. We met last year.
Oh boy.
And married secretly. He became famous, and my fairy tale has now turned into a nightmare. On top of everything, he started an emotional affair with another woman, and I'm heartbroken.
Emotional affair?
Emotional affair.
Oh, okay.
Was she a cunt like you are? Oh, sorry, we'll wait till questions after we read it all. I don't know what to do. If I leave him, I risk the possibility of not meeting someone else before it's too late to have children. But I don't want to leave him. I love him. So how do I forgive him when he's starting to despise me because I haven't recovered from his affair? He ignores me and escapes to the alternate universe of Instagram where he's perfect and loved by one and all. He doesn't accept responsibility for the role he's playing, which is destroying me and us. I don't want to give up on him in the future we've collectively imagined, but I don't know where we go from here. How do I compete with his fame and this other world he inhabits? Oof. So
yeah, I was going to make a joke. I was going to say something to the effect of, now listen here, Miss Undoomed. But after more details came out, I'm like, nah, that doesn't quite work. All right. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's back up a little bit. You waited for love till you were 34. You met him last year and got married.
Yeah.
And things are falling apart from this dream you dreamed together for a year. I don't mean to belittle that, but everything about this woman just screams fantasy life to me. Like, he is so lucky to have caught me. He's so lucky to have snagged my old ass right after I hit the wall.
34 is old ass, huh? Okay. Hear that, ladies in our audience, just so you know.
I'm not. I locked mine down at 16. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what do I know?
Yeah, she does sound a bit full of herself, but I mean,
so does he.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. Like, it doesn't sound like she's off base, especially in regards of my favorite word is propping up again, influencers' behaviors. So they're probably perfect for each other, to be honest.
Well, here's one. How many followers does he have?
That's a good question. The way she's talking about him, make it seems like he's fucking somebody who's famous on Instagram.
Yeah. I don't know Instagram famous, honestly, because I don't have Instagram. So
Kim Kardashian is probably like the peak, who would be like mid-range.
Wouldn't that be funny if it was Kim Kardashian complaining about
Kanye?
Yeah, Kanye. It's like this is secretly she's asking for advice. Like, what do I do?
Oh my god.
I don't know. This whole thing I'm reading. One, he could have 10,000 followers.
Yes.
And sorry, lady, that's not Instagram famous. It's not. I mean, it's more fame than he had when you got together, I'm sure, but that's not Instagram famous. Wait, imagine when he hits 1 million, if he ever does. But everything I read here, and I'm sorry, from the emotional affair with another woman.
What does that even mean?
Somebody in the chat said, does that mean they were just friends?
Probably. They were probably, sharing I love yous, and she came across his Instagram account. No, you guys shouldn't be together.
Because when I hear emotional affair, I think emotional connection from like Zeph and his girlfriend and that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have an emotional connection.
Emotional affair, huh? That's why when I heard it, I'm like, what? The fuck is that?
He doesn't accept responsibility for the role he's playing. Well, other than the affair thing, the only thing he's done is building up his social media, which, if that's what he's doing for a job, is his fucking job. If you don't want him doing that, I mean, yeah, you need to decide, is he worth it, or is your not being part of that world worth it? Because come on, sweetie, don't tell me you didn't know that he was trying for that fame and you didn't want to be his famous little groupie. Yeah, get divorced. You're a bad match.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
And guys, look, I do know, I've said this from the beginning, never bang one of your fucking viewers. Don't bang your fans, man. That never goes right. Ask Johnny Carson. I mean, he's dead now, but
ask Johnny Carson, the dead guy.
Ask Johnny Carson how well that worked out. How many fucking times that man get divorced? Like 7 or some shit like that. No.
Well, it's hard to be Johnny Carson and not date someone who's watching your show. I mean, because he was Johnny Carson. It's kind of hard to find someone who doesn't know who you are.
I'm using the lesson though, Scribe.
You used a lousy example, is what you used.
Okay, ask this guy's wife.
There you go.
No, I mean, look, that's one of the reasons, anytime I enter a new space, it's like, I'm married, happily so. Do not send me nudes. Because if you do, me and my wife will laugh at them and then I'll delete them. They're guys who definitely see. She described him, getting his ego ballooned, and I can see that. I've seen it happen with people in any area of influence.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Michael Avenatti.
Oh my God, do I have to? I'll let CNN do that.
But those two shouldn't be together, and nothing of her story made sense to me. Anyway, this other one I wanted to read because this is actually something that we've gotten asked about before. Dear Lords of the Night, my mother, who I adore, can't hold a job, can't make the right choices, and is a totally charming freeloader.
Uh-oh.
For as long as I can remember, it has always been just the two of us. But now she has a male friend who has no job, no money, and no car.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Wait.
Right. Nope.
Wait. And is 26.
Oh! No! How old is mom? Did he say? I forgot.
They didn't, but she says, P.S. I'm 26.
Okay.
Hell fucking no.
Yeah, no way.
My mother and I share a 2-bedroom apartment. I don't make a huge salary, but I try my best to keep our apartment afloat. The rent, the food, the pet food, the electricity, and tons more things I can't even remember. What gets me, and this is really why I'm writing you, is that this male friend stays at our apartment for free, eats free, and drives both of our cars for free.
Oh, fuck no.
She's blind to this man. Oh, fuck. Wait. He wrecked my car last week, and I had to pay the insurance deductible.
Oh, fuck no.
Lords of the Night, I'm tired. Please help. Signed, Too Nice.
You kicked them both out.
Yeah. The actual name of that, I didn't read it. Is Should I Be? No, it was Can I Kick Out My Mother and Her Freeloading Boyfriend?
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
Totally. Yes.
You the same age as me? Yeah, you got it.
I'm doing what you should be doing, 26-year-old provider for my mother.
No way in the fuck, man. He better not look at my car. Don't even look at it like you want to drive it.
Both of them are old enough to be supporting themselves.
Well, yes, but
you are under no obligation to take care of either of them.
Yep.
Let them go out and get a job. God damn. Look, people, there's a difference between being nice and being a carpet.
Dude, see, this story hits close to home because I don't know if I ever shared the whole when my little brother was staying with me, and because he was trying to figure himself out, he'd reaching that age where he should be trying to do stuff on his own, and he was under the impression that as long as you are living in the same house as somebody else, you are entitled to everything that they are.
Oh, horse shit.
Yeah, like period. Full stop. You don't have to contribute anything. You don't have to do anything. You are living under that roof, so you are entitled to everything that they are. Or
communism.
Or else, how is it your house too? He's like, it's my house too. And I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's my house.
It's my house, sir. You are staying here, yes, but this is my house. And it was, oh man, just like, no, that's not how it works. That's not how this works.
Well, people in the chat, I do want to remind you that mom, from what we read here, is a freeloader too.
Yes.
She says her mom can't hold a job, so maybe her mom works every now and then, but she's not working all the time. Mom is just as much a freeloader as this asshole is. Get the fuck out.
Well, see, that's what makes it worse because it's like, okay, it's bad enough I'm taking care of you. It's bad enough that you're a freeloader, but not only are you a freeloader and so inconsiderate, you're actually going to bring somebody else on to impose on me outside of your set. Like, you should feel bad in your own position, but you don't feel bad enough to the point to where you're bringing somebody else to fuck me over too. Like, come on.
Frosted Glass, thank you so much. Wreck my car and my mom? Oh, hell no. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know how much this guy knows about the living arrangements there. Maybe, I mean, it is entirely possible he thought mom was chipping in when they first got there, but he ain't stayed there for no amount of time and realized that's not happening. Yeah. Get your ass out of her house.
The first and biggest problem is you didn't set the ground rules when this guy showed up, and you didn't put your foot down when he started overstepping. That was first and foremost. So first off, you have to learn to be assertive, not just about this, but about a lot of things, because I'm assuming this isn't the only battle that you have capitulated to. And most importantly, yeah, you lay down the law with mom. It's like, okay, you're my mom. You can stay here, but he's got to go. Or they both got to go. It's one of the two.
Even with mom, you laid out, look,
yeah,
you need to start chipping in.
Yep.
I'm not your mother. This is the final one we're going to do real quick. This is Lords of the Night. How can we, I'm including most of my girlfriends in this question, be powerful, successful women and date not as successful men? Is it possible to maintain our femininity and earn more than our men and somehow not emasculate them? My girlfriends and I are struggling with this. I think I just lost the love of my life because I can't find the key to this mystery. I'm working on getting him back, but I need your help. Lonely at the top.
Okay. Well, I guess it depends on how. I don't know. I figure if a guy's secure enough in himself, it doesn't matter if his girlfriend's making more money. I guess it only matters if he's a freeloader and not providing anything at all.
Yeah, I was about to.
Maybe just me.
Yeah, the first thing I was about to say was find a dude that's less insecure.
Yeah,
that might be a start.
Yeah, I mean, so wait, the beginning of that again was they want to find men who are making less than they are?
No, they don't. They're very, very successful.
Okay.
So they have trouble finding men who are at least successful as they are.
Or at least as successful as they are.
So they end up always being the breadwinner of the couple.
Okay, well, first off, how much the other guy makes shouldn't be an issue. The question is he gainfully employed and is he responsible and take care of his own shit, regardless of his income? So why they want to find guys in the first place that are as successful as they are, I don't understand why that's a prerequisite or even a consideration.
It's because of the question. They're asking how do you sustain a relationship with a person who makes less than you without emasculating them? Like, they don't care how much they make. Okay. They care that the dude feels inadequate.
Right. Well, okay. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where my questions come in. Is it because does he actually feel like that, or do you feel like that?
Well, that's also true. I mean, do they come up and say like, I don't like the fact that you make more than I do? Are they actually saying that?
We've seen this before with divorcees. When you have an older man who's divorced, and let's say a couple gets divorced at 42, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chances are he will remarry before she will, if she ever does. And what they've found out when they talk to these women and stuff is that once they're established, and in this case, this would be, having a really decent job for the people in this article. Women tend not to want to take care of a man.
Right.
They want a man who's at least as successful as they are. Where a guy's like, yeah, come over here, sweetie. I will take care of you. I will be your sugar daddy. Mm-hmm. You just hang on my arm, suck this dick, and we will be friends for life. And I'm paraphrasing, guys. That's not what the actual study said. But I mean,
if only. How did you come to those numbers? Well, let me tell you.
It's something that they found. And what I'd tell this lady is examine whether it's him or you.
Yeah.
I mean, several people have asked in the chat, like, is she paying for everything and making him feel bad about it?
Right. Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah. So have I. And look, if you there's nothing wrong with you making more money. And yes, you know what? You will find some of those old-fashioned guys who'll be like, I can't have my woman make more than me. What, did you like that voice? But for me, like right now, Lady Monkey makes more than me because I'm a cripple motherfucker, and cripple don't pay well. But she also doesn't go, I has the money.
Right.
I has the, would you like to buy something, pretty little thing? So yeah, I wonder how much of this is in their own minds and how much of this is actually the guy being like, she emasculates me.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting. I don't have the right to complain about making less than my wife because I chose to be a YouTuber. So that,
yeah,
based on that career path, is,
you know what it might be, or at least one possibility. So I forget the phrase. There's this great video done by YouTube channel Jim Can't Swim about the Jussie Smollett case, and it talks about the psychology of someone who has achieved a lot of wealth or fame, and they become accustomed to it, to where it's just normal. It doesn't seem out of place or significant. So it could be that if these women are just super successful, they're acting in a way that, from their perspective, isn't out of the ordinary or isn't braggy or anything like that. But to anyone else in the rest of the, quote unquote normal world, it seems elitist or stuck up or something else. So maybe what they're seeing as like them feeling uncomfortable is really them, but they just can't see it because they're used to how they behave or the world that they live in. Maybe something like that.
You know what I think it is? I think I figured it out, because this is usually the case. These women are all very successful.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, when you're talking about very successful women, especially, she mentioned her femininity and stuff like that, like female empowerment, successful women, they don't have the best opinion about men overall. So I feel like some other successful chick has been filling their head up with, you need to find you a man who isn't going to feel emasculated by your success. Because you're powerful, you're a strong woman, and you need to find somebody who can handle that. Because most of those little weak boys, they don't know how to handle a real successful woman. I think they've been fed that shit throughout their career, or like the rising throughout their career, and now they're just like, oh God, like we need to really be careful who we date because we don't want to hurt their feelings. That's what I think it is. I could be wrong, but I feel like that might be the case.
Or it could also be most guys look at these ladies and say, yeah, too high maintenance for my blood.
Well, to Satsu's point there, you know who Maureen Dowd is, right?
Yes.
She's a famous columnist for the New York Times. She wrote a column, God, how long ago has that been now? Probably 5-6 years ago, where she was bitching about how she can never find, guys are just afraid of intelligent, smart women like her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you're a cunt and nobody wants to talk to you. Even women don't want to talk to you. But yeah, she got it in her head that the reason that no guy will stay with her is because they're so scared of being with a strong, powerful woman. Like, no, you're a cunt. You're a cunt. And it comes out in your writing. And that column of all of it was so bitchy. The whole damn thing. And if this woman is anything like she was when she wrote that, I predict long, lonely winters. And it has nothing to do with how much you're making, sweetie. But that's going to wrap that up, guys. Those are some good ones. Those are always hit and miss, and I enjoyed all 3 of those. With that, it's going to bring us to question time. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them in the chat now. We'll do our best to pay attention to them and answer your questions. Remark on your comments and ignore the rest of what you put in there.
Sure.
Don't forget tonight, guys, over on 2 Cents Plus, we thought we were finishing up Borderlands last night. I don't know if we're finishing it or not. We're into the 3rd of the, what are they called? DLCs?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Ellis says, Monkey, what happened with the Passover peeps? A guy went into a synagogue and shot 4 people. One of them died. Did you see David Hogg's tweet saying how many AR-15s would Jesus own? The best part of that, I did see it, was who he was responding to, and I don't even remember what that one was. fuck, because it had nothing to do with who he was. Let me see if I can find it. If anybody has it. Oh, wait, here it is. Oh, he was replying to Pence. Okay. So Mike Pence tweets out, under this president and this administration, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. To which David Hogg tweeted, remind me, how many AR-15s did Jesus own? Like, what? Those
non sequitur much?
How many cell phones did Jesus own? How about computers?
Yeah.
I honestly think that when David read this, he confused the 10 Commandments with the Bill of Rights.
Oh, there you go.
That's the only thing that makes sense. And even then, it doesn't make sense. But at least he would be biblical. Now, if he'd said how many AR-15s did George Washington own, I mean, it would still be stupid, but at least it'd be in the same realm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, I saw that and then laughed my ass off. Why has Lady Monkey not killed you yet? Love. Just one word, love.
I genuinely thought you were going to say it's complicated.
No, I have no doubt in my mind that there's been nights I've been peacefully asleep in my bed, and Lady Monkey has been there with a knife hovering over my chest, talking herself out of doing it.
Jesus Christ. What did you do, Monkey?
Damn, dude.
I am hard to live with.
Well, that I believe.
I am like this all the time. I can't turn it off. I'm me, and I understand how hard it is to be with me, so I try to tone it down for her sake. Especially when we were younger, though, and I was learning not to purposefully push her buttons because it amused me. Because she's high strung. She's very much like her dad, and I'm just not high strung at all. And those two personalities can clash. Harsh.
No.
LA is going to be divided now. There are two NFL teams in Los Angeles, and the LA Chargers and the LA Rams. Well, they've been divided before. I mean, the Rams and Raiders were there at one time together.
Yeah.
Weren't they?
I think so.
And the Chargers came from there. So what's one job you wanted in high school?
Hand job.
I wasn't thinking too much about jobs in high school, honestly.
I wanted to get into game design when I was in high school. Like, that was the career path that I was looking at. But all it took was enough people to be like, dude, that's like extremely difficult, like very difficult. Like, you have to be exceptional. And I'm like, oh wait, I'm exceptional at nothing. So that
you had the wrong friends in high school.
I'm like, holy shit, I am not exceptional at literally anything. Like, so that maybe I'll pick something more attainable. So yeah, I ended up doing nothing instead.
I mean, I remember when I was younger, I thought about becoming a psychologist, but that's a lot of schooling I didn't want to do. Because everybody used to come to me with their problems and like, Frank, you're pretty fucked up. How would you deal with this? Let's see. Where's that? There was a weird question in chat just a moment ago.
A weird question from our audience? What?
What color is the sound of a dog barking with the wind?
Pale blue.
There you go.
Chartreuse.
Sorry, reading through these guys. Scribe Light, were you afraid to read my story about the epidemic of chopped off penises? I submitted it and tagged the three of you in it. Don't tag all three of us in it. Just submit it.
I don't get to all the stories. Sorry. It's just one of those things.
I think I did see something about that earlier. Like, basically some leader figure had to come out and say, like, yeah, this is a problem because we got to keep amputating people's dicks because they don't clean them. Like, clean your dicks.
Ew.
So stop cutting them off. I'm just like, that's disgusting.
Was it on this show or was it Monkey in the Morning when we read a story about a guy who paid his friend to cut off his dick?
Oh God.
No. And you know why he did it?
No.
Dumbest reason you can think of, real quick. Give me one.
He thought it was dirty.
Nope.
Who did what? I'm sorry. What happened?
Why would a guy pay his friend to cut off his dick?
Because he told him he wouldn't.
This man paid his friend 170 pounds to cut off his wiener to become internet famous.
Oh, I don't know his name.
Yeah. Look, I've heard of some dumb ones, but that's getting real close to shoot me in the chest with a desert eagle.
Yeah. Well, I hold a phone book in front of me.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Look, I have a tiny sliver of internet fame. Tiny sliver.
Yeah.
And it is not worth my penis. It's not worth my life. Ain't worth none of that shit. Stop it, people.
Yeah. The phone book shooting one and Balloon Boy are the two most ridiculous attempts at fame that come to mind right now. I'm sure there are many worse, but those are the ones that always stick out in my mind whenever I think about that kind of shit.
That one's actually to Random, but I'll read it out loud. Hey, Random, feel like playing 7 days tonight? If you guys are, let me know, and I'll tell everybody that the server will be open. If not, then it won't be until Wednesday, I believe, is when they open it back up. If a tree falls and no one's around to hear it, is Monkey still wrong about Endgame? No, I'm always right. Who bopped Beelzebub? I don't know. I saw a whole bunch of bopping going on there for a minute, and it was before we started paying attention to chat, so I don't even know what was said. Mr. Monopoly said, did you see the tweets by the Krasenstein brothers about the latest shooting saying it shouldn't be politicized, or it should be politicized already? No, but I'm not shocked. And those idiots politicize everything.
Well, what were they like? Why is no one taking advantage of this?
I mean, how many AR-15s did Jesus own? That's my answer to everything now. Jesus Christ. Sad Boy says, Ranting Monkey, do you get a wet dream? I've never had a wet dream.
Yeah, I heard about it when I was a kid, but it was like never happened.
Yeah, I've never had nocturnal.
I've had sexy dreams. I've had dreams that involved erotic stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I never woke up like, oh my God. So no, that never happened.
Never woke up sticky. No.
Yeah.
I just had sex. I mean.
Yeah.
What? I did. You want me to lie?
No, just.
In around that time, my dick got touched a lot, and not just by me. Ranting Monkey, hand job? Really, Scribe? Oh, job in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was making a joke. I honestly, when I was in high school, I didn't have any notion of what I wanted to do or be. I thought maybe I'd end up being a writer of some kind, a novelist or whatever, because that was my sort of forte at the time. But other than that, I had no idea. That's why I took an English degree, because I didn't know. Still don't know, really.
Wow, I went through a lot of fucking things that I wanted to do. I wanted to play football at some point. I wanted to be a chef. There's a lot of phases I had where I was like, I want to do this.
And yeah, hand jobs were like, stop it. I can do that myself. Put your mouth on it. Goddamn, chat jumped. Guys, I am getting to your questions. I'm not ignoring anybody. I try to go in order so that I don't miss anything. And if I miss yours, I'm sorry, because I really do try. Don't forget to come watch us over on 2 Cents Plus right after this. That's the number 2 CENTS PLUS for Borderlands.
What are we giving away?
I don't know. We'll decide in a little bit.
To the Steams.
No, Ryan sent me a game. I'm not sure what it is. I have to check it out. What is HR 8 and why does AOC and Kamala Harris want it to be passed so badly? It says HR 8, right? Yeah, I'm not familiar. It's probably a House resolution to ban the sale of something or other. Let's see. It's the Bipartisan Background Check Act of 2019. Because if only we background checked it a little bit more, then people wouldn't murder. Look, guys, background checks aren't going to stop anything. Stop it. It's another one of those things that these idiots put out. They're like, if we say background checks, everybody be like, yeah. It does nothing. Nothing. And if you go back to like the Aurora shooting, I mean, he passed a background check.
Yep.
And if you go to the Sandy Hook shooting, he failed a background check.
Yeah. There's a lot of those situations where like gun obtained legally, and it's like, well, if they obtained it legally, then they had to have gone through a background check. And that's like the majority of these fucking shooters.
And when they don't, I mean, the Sandy Hook one, I mean, this motherfucker stole them all. What is your background check going to do for a stolen fucking gun, you idiots?
Literally nothing. Oh, dude.
What's up?
There's a 80% off Capcom sale going on right now.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, boy.
Ranting Monkey, thank you. And Scribe Light might get on a stream together and hash out your disagreement over Endgame. If we did, I mean, it'll be a while. Because, I mean, that just came out.
Yeah. I mean, we could do like a big thing that just says, this stream is a total spoiler, so don't watch unless you've seen the movie. But
yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah,
I'm fine
with doing that.
I guarantee that there will be people who show up and be like, "Hey, why is everybody spoiling?"
Right.
Sure.
Why are you spoiling this?
Hey, if you're not doing anything tomorrow afternoon, Monkey, just let me know.
What is tomorrow?
Sunday.
Tomorrow is Sunday.
Maybe we'll see how much.
Just let me know. Yeah, get sleep first. I won't do it unless you've gotten some sleep.
Yeah, sleep is my priority going into tomorrow. Because goddamn, Jesus, Jesus, how much sleep did you get? You ever visit Best Gore? Is that what that says?
Best Gore.
Is
it like Best Buy except for like blood?
Well, it's hard for me to read the chat sometimes, see whether or not that says an R or an N. Hang on, let me make that bigger. Shit, it jumped when I did that. Yeah, Gore. No, I don't know what that is. Sorry. God damn it. Sorry, I'm having chat problems over here, people. You don't know the troubles I know.
Nobody knows the troubles I've seen.
Now I'm trying to find all of where everything is. Okay, there's the Krasenstein one, there's the Wet Dream one, the hand job one. Ranting Monkey, you're not a snoring teeth grinder, are you? I'd want to kill you if you were. Excuse me, I don't grind my teeth. I don't snore like I used to. I used to snore really bad, and Lady Monkey would complain because she'd be laying there trying to go to sleep at night, and I'd already be in bed snoring. And she'd turn up the TV so she could hear it, and then I would get louder, and she'd swear I would keep getting louder than the TV every time she turned it up. So again, I'm telling you guys, she probably thought about killing me in my sleep. Duck Dog says, just not the Niners, right? Yeah, they're across the bay. No. What is? Oh, there's the HR thing. There's a lot of chat going on, and I'm sorry, guys, to have all the dead air and the things going, but it's trying to find the actual questions. And you guys I love that you talk to each other too. That's why we asked for the chat marks. Those are question marks for the rest of you. So make sure if you have a question, put like at least 10. Don't go 50, just like at least 10. Why hasn't AOC called for banning the corrosive substance? Oh, dihydrogen monoxide. She probably will. She would. Because she's an idiot. For those of you who don't know, that is the chemical name for water. And there's actually been several. They do that from time to time. They'll take a petition out and get people to sign it to get rid of it. They'll tell them like it's horribly corrosive. This many people die from it each year. It will literally eat metal. And it will. It is. I mean.
And it's found in your children's cereal.
Yes. It's found all over your children's home. Let's see, where are we? Like any historical documentaries?
Yes. Ken Burns' Civil War documentary is a masterpiece. There's a great documentary by Errol Morris called The Fog of War, and it's a long interview with Robert S. McNamara about his career and especially Vietnam. That's really, really interesting. The Weather Underground is, I mean, there's tons of historical documentaries I love. Yeah.
I don't tend to remember the name of documentaries I watch. I watch a bunch
That's
of
not
them,
surprising.
I just don't remember their names.
Yeah.
I've been that way before I started these drugs too, Scribe.
Oh, okay.
Just, I don't know why they don't stick with me. Satsu, any historical documentaries you like?
Not that I can think of off top. I've seen a lot of very interesting ones that I know were interesting because I'm like, wow, that was interesting. But yeah, I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's a ton of them on like World War. I love World War II stuff and Civil War stuff, and there for a long time, anything around the Kennedys and Martin Luther King, that area or that era of history between the assassinations.
Mm-hmm.
So much was going on in our country, but could not tell you the name of any of them motherfuckers. Mash asks, being that Scribe won't be here next, you're not gonna be here next Saturday?
Yeah, I'm going to visit my parents. They're having a early birthday thing for me since they're going to be out of town.
That's right. Have you considered having on Undoomed on as a guest? I'd have Undoomed on. Usually the problem with getting him on is timing. Yeah, we've talked a few times. If you could make your own football league like the AAF or the XFL, how would the league be like? If I made a football league, it would be back to the old time of doing it. Very few pads and leather helmets. Quinn asked me if I liked Endgame. It was okay. Question for Scribe. Oxford comma or no? Ooh.
No.
Really?
I don't know.
As an English major, I thought that would be like your life's blood, man.
I honestly, off the top of my head, I have no idea what the difference is.
Who wrote the Book of Love?
We all wonder. We wonder who wrote the Book of Love.
I did.
Satsu, that's why
Satsu did it.
That's why Squishy don't kill him.
Twist me.
Was there another shooting? Last one I remember was Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was bombings actually. And yeah, there was a synagogue in San Diego that got shot up. And for the silver lining there, only 1 dead, 4 wounded total. So.
Oh my god, dude! Lost Planet 2. That's one of the games that's I used to play the fuck out of that game. You guys ever played Lost Planet?
Nope.
It's on sale for $4.
Satsu's over there shopping the Steam sale right now.
Oh shit, dude! This is a lot of good games on here.
Dude, look, at least once a day I check out Steam sales, even when I know it hasn't changed since the day before. I don't even buy anything most of the time. It's just like, what's on sale? What about the falling off the cliff to their death on that YouTube adventure channel? I heard a little bit about that. Do you guys know much about that?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, some dude. Yeah, they were trying to get. Oh, Terracin, thank you for the super chat. With no message there. I appreciate it. I remember hearing about it. I didn't look into it very far. I just thought, oh, look, another dumbass trying to get internet famous killed themselves. How long till Squishy is due? August, right?
August 21st.
We're getting close, man.
I know, 3 more months, man. I'm literally counting down.
Would Jesus have liked Endgame? That depends. Is he on the cross or not?
I don't think watching anything on a cross for any amount of time is.
Maybe it takes your mind off it, man.
I don't know. Put some 3D glasses on him.
Nut says, reminder, watch Ranting Monkey and Satsu 2 cents after this on 2 cents plus. And she drops the link in there. Guys, make sure you come watch us. It's a lot of fun. And I'm tired tonight, so God knows what's going to happen. Underwater welding at one point, but fear of heights equals depth. Fear of depths. Stupid high school me. Oh, look, I know a friend who does underwater welding, and he makes a shit ton of money off of it.
Yeah.
Stargazer said y'all are going to hell.
Orpheus asks, Ranting Monkey, are you an ultimate Chad? I'm a hybrid. If you looked at me, you would never realize what a geek I am. But I was very athletic in school and everything, but I still loved all my nerd stuff. But the bitches love me. Is that too conceited? The bitches love me. Shut up.
Don't ask the question if you don't want an answer, Monkey.
I didn't say I didn't want an answer.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want that answer.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Was it one of the Krasenstein brothers who paid to have his dick chopped off? No, but they would do it for the fame.
Yeah, probably.
Sarah asks, sweet or unsweetened tea? Sweetened tea, absolutely. Southern sweet.
Hey, all tea is sweetened tea if I have sugar.
Scribbles?
Sweetened tea, probably.
Yeah,
I don't have it that often, so yeah.
When I make tea myself, the ratio comes out to this. If I was making a 1 gallon pitcher of tea, it will have a full cup of sugar in it.
Dear God.
And it is awesome. It's amazing that way. Let's see. Apparently I missed a marry, shag, or dump question. We tend to ignore those anyway, so I didn't ignore it that time, but we just get so many of those.
Hey, Monkey. Attached to that $1 donation, Terracen says, tell Monkey that message was help. My roommate is trying to get Pat drunk.
Do you see how big that motherfucker is? You know how much alcohol you need to get him drunk?
Sure.
You inject that shit into his muscles.
Shit. The other thing you could do, have him run laps so he's dehydrated. Don't let him eat anything. Those are going to be your best choices. That was defrosted. Lords of the Night are squirrels plotting to take over the world.
That's affirmative.
Yes.
Would you rather have what? Chocolate blood or fingers made of Jolly Ranchers?
I'll take the chocolate blood, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the blood's going to actually function like blood, then sure. I wouldn't want I'd be sucking on my fingers all day, and that'd be weird.
Do you know how fucking impossible it would be to game with Jolly Rancher fingers?
Yeah, right? Sticking on everything and melting half the time, yeah.
Oh my God. Jolly Ranchers are the stickiest fucking candy in existence.
Oh, and especially on your teeth, man. Oh, if you try chewing them, oh God, it's terrible. It takes a long time to get out of there.
Scribe Light, would you do a commission to proofread and help fix a first draft of a book?
Maybe. I'm a little wary of taking on like really long-term projects because of my own schedule and everything, and committing to those kind of stuff. And taking money for it, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you actually have a serious offer, like DM me or something, and well, maybe, I don't know. I have to get some details. And I'm not a professional editor. Let me just make that clear. I have an English major. That does not make me an English expert. Okay, so I cannot promise you a professional look-see. You'd want to get an actual like editor to look at your stuff if you're going to pay money. Just saying.
The only thing he professionally edits is my tweets.
Well, I do that to a lot of people, not just you. You're not that special, Monkey.
I believe I am. I a lot of people, but I've got to be up there. Like, and look, that's because I fuck up a lot, but still.
You're one I pay attention to probably more than some, but yeah.
Mr. Monopoly asked me if I've ever fired a gun. I've fired several, and my favorite and the one I'm best with is just a regular rifle, and the one I'm worst at is with a pistol. I fucking suck with a pistol, and I don't know why. My buddy it was his gun. He used to actually be an instructor in the Army. And he said, actually, if we'd had more time and if I was going to be doing it more often, he would do it the way he taught them. So one of the biggest problems people have firing a pistol is that they expect that recoil.
Right.
And so they actually start it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And he said what he used to do is he'd take the gun from them and have them practice pulling the trigger. You have to do it over and over again. You will get better at it. Yeah, but he was actually won several sharpshooting awards with pistols. Do you have a catch? Do I have a catchphrase?
Nope,
No,
not monkey. Not monkey.
I have a few, actually.
Yeah. I actually have a few now too. Yeah.
It's kind of what we do around here. But with that, guys, sorry I didn't get to everyone's questions, but you guys, I love when you're so engaged. But it's the end of the hour, so it's the end of the show and the end of the week. We will be back Monday on Satsu 2 Cents channel at the regular 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. For now, you can catch me and Satsu over on 2 Cents Plus for some Borderlands fun. Scribe, do you have anything going on this weekend?
Well, it all depends if you want to talk endgame tomorrow, but otherwise, no.
Okay, so me and Scribe might be doing something tomorrow. Me and Satsu definitely will be also on 2 Cents Plus around our 7 p.m. usual time. So check out those guys. I would like to thank all of you for coming, hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. Your generosity is humbling. Scribe, Satsu, a pleasure as always, gentlemen. Everybody, your lives make us sad. We'll see you next time.
Was that a catchphrase?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.